else. So that flexibility and freedom we have to give. And then when we educate them or we try to win them away, as a law enforcement agency, we are contributing towards crime prevention. Similarly, there can be social interventions. There are NGOs, there are NGOs who are aligning with us and participating in such activities. Also, when I was DCP South, I remember there was an area where children were being lifted. Now, we try to study why there are more instances of children being kidnapped from there. Because women did not know where to leave the child. They were all workers and they would be away for, say, 10 hours and 12 hours. So we engaged an NGO who created a creche, and they did a count of the children. Whether or not the child would be given to them or not, they will go door to door. They will make sure that the child is taken care of, and the frequency of the children being picked up went down. So these are strategies which can be used. Another thing is like when schools offer midday meals, school dropout rates fall down because parents feel at least the child is getting one meal. So it's not targeted against all, but it is targeted towards people who are both working already at the edge. When you call the below poverty line or just above the poverty line, not being able to fend for themselves if you don't give them support. So when these environmental, situations are made better, there's a lot of effort which goes in. There's society, there is police, there is NGO, then there is community. I've worked in Mizoram. Suppose a rape happens in Mizoram. You know what happens? Even if sometimes the parents don't want to come and complain, the whole society will, come together. There will be NGOs who will complain, become suo motu complainants, and then, the police is forced to take up the case. And they will become witnesses, they will go and help, and they will help the child, counsel the parents. So it's the community which, and then there is this because it is a very closed society, there is the pressure for social ostracization. Everybody knows everybody. So if I'm found doing a crime, nobody will talk to me. So, and the community then tries to tell them, if you don't behave properly, if you indulge in crime or such crimes which are going to affect our women, you will be ostracized. And that is a big threat. Just sit in one room and don't talk to anybody for a week. See what will happen to you mentally, and on no phone. So you're going to be that interaction with society. Man is not able to live alone. Then sometimes there are strategies where we try to promote positive behaviors. We are also trying to give opportunities and motivation, like when we create these vocational courses, or we are encouraging good behavior. Like for example, if someone catches a snatcher, so we call them to our office, give them 5,000 rupees from our fund. We make sure they have a cup of tea, so they know like it's a good behavior. I do not have to indulge in snatching, but if I prevent a snatcher from taking or helping or help a woman on the street, I'm getting rewarded. Can you have the next slide, please? So similarly, you can go on, and it's very important that you continue to, aim towards crime prevention. Then, for example, I can continue to elaborate on this, but this is more more textbookish. But it is like you can characterize crime prevention in different parts. For example, situational, targeting specific situation and a specific environment, and you reduce crime. Then it can be a social setting also. Socially, people do not like a particular, like you find in certain areas, maybe in the northeast, maybe in Kerala, maybe in South India also, there's a lot of respect for women. First time I went on I came to Tamil Nadu and with my mother, and I boarded a bus, and I was surprised that one whole side was left for women, and this was never seen in Delhi. And sometimes you will even find men sitting on women's seats and not getting up. But it was amazing, and I was a kid at that point in time. So as a society, and if suppose that side was full and you were struggling to stand, somebody will get up and say, please sit. So it is that society as a whole contributing towards this thing, and everybody is shaking their head. So it is when society says, yes, this is how you behave towards women, then it's like everybody's encouraged. And community-based crime prevention is like, what happens is that, I'll give you one example. There were a lot of women at one point in time in Delhi we were getting from Jharkhand. So they were coming as maids, and the people were coming. So we were all very like, okay, fine, you contact this agent, he will get you a maid. And since both husband and wife are working, they will always have maid problem. So what happens is that over a period of time, Jharkhand police started working on, but now all maids don't get their salaries, all maids don't land up going back, some agents are bad, they will traffic them, they will misuse them, they will, sometimes even rape the girl. So there are a lot of issues. And sometimes, employers don't want the lady to connect with her family. So there are issues. Parents will get worried, where is my daughter? I have not spoken to her for 2 years, and no salary also being received. So, and then suddenly the person who has taken the child away from Jharkhand to Delhi, that connect is lost. So Jharkhand police did a very nice exercise. They started targeting the community. Like for example, there are 5 girls who will go from a village. They said, okay, nothing doing without consent of the village panchayat, these girls will not go. So parents' choice got limited. Which agents will take the children? Now, all agents have to get registered with the labor department. So when you have to get registered with the government department, all of you know how difficult it is. You have to give your Aadhaar card, you have to give your this thing, you have to tell your son's name, wife's name, your appa's name, and someone has to take guarantee for you, say, or take like, I certify that X person is correct. So when all this validation happens, the fellow cannot run away. He has to come back. And only those people will be given the license to take children or women and get them work in the cities. So this is a very positive way. Then all these women were given, like sometimes an uneducated, unskilled woman goes to the city. And the agent does not give them any training. And he says, okay, now you cook roti. You make this sabji. She would not know. She will make a mistake. Maybe at home she has never washed the dishes with her mother. She does not know any skill. Then she gets titranga. You understand that they will say, oh, why you not? We are paying you 15,000 rupees. Why you are not doing this? She has been told by the agent that she knows everything. She's very skilled. No, she's getting this titranga or this, scolding because she's unskilled. And they are trying to get her the salary of a skilled labor. So this gap was filled up by the Jharkhand police. They engaged people who trained these girls. So unless the girl had a certificate, she was trained, she was not allowed to leave the village. So what happened is that then now when you go as a skilled person, like you are educated, you go to the market for a job, you are able to demand. You go as an unskilled person, they will say, "Tujhe to kuch aata nahi hai." Tax, your salary will go half. So your skill gives you, that ability to earn more, and your rights become better. So the more, awareness about rights, what you can do, what you can't do. You should keep a phone. If you don't get a holiday once a week, this is what you should do. These are the numbers you should contact. So they will give everything to them. So that kind of, it's like the community started building this base with the girls who were being taken away for the work in Delhi. And slowly what started happening was they started getting better jobs. The exploitation stopped. I'm connecting it with crime. So exploitation of these girls stopped, because what happens if the girl is not found anywhere and she goes missing, there will be a kidnapping case registered in Jharkhand. So kidnapping cases in Jharkhand went down, and it became also difficult now because now she's educated, she has choices, she would not go only to Delhi. She said, I will go to Calcutta. If not Calcutta, I will work here. I will open my own canteen here. I will work as something. So, when your knowledge base and skill base and your education increases, your choices of what you should do and what you should not do becomes better. And then that reduces crime as a whole, in my view. And here was a very good example where the community participated in tandem with the police and in tandem with the NGOs in Jharkhand, and made sure that now it's very difficult to find a Jharkhandi made in Delhi. Ask anybody in Delhi. I am a witness. Next slide, please. So, for example, society and economic costs of crime are extremely significant and wide-ranging. Why I am saying that is because crime can have a very profound effect on individual societies and overall economy. I'll tell you why. For example, someone wants to set up a big industrial, we used to have this SCZ in Pondicherry. So why did they choose Pondicherry? Because crime rate was low, because it was good weather, because political parties were willing to give them SOPs. So everything else notwithstanding, there are places in UP, there are places in Haryana. People will not put up a factory. They will not put up industries. Why? Because high crime rate. They are not sure whether their the money that they invest will be safe. So an area gets promoted also because crime is less, and then because of crime being less, more businesses start coming here. So that is a very big So, and when business comes, again it comes with money, it comes with opportunity, it comes with salaries. People don't have to go to a different state or a different village or a city. They can continue to work at their base and perform. But again, if the crime rate is high, then it is very difficult for that particular business to survive there, and overall economy gets affected. So I'm just giving you a small example, and I saw it in Pondicherry, I saw it in so many other states. There was a place in UP, I don't want to name it, but at one point in time, the crime rate was so high that people did not want to invest. In fact, there was people wanted to leave the city and invest somewhere else because of the crime rate. And that is how there is a downfall sometimes in an area. In areas, you want to go buy a house. You will never buy a house where crime is high. Because you will always feel, oh, I have to buy a house, I'm investing so much of my life savings. Better do it in a place which is crime free. So, next please. Now, you can, what is the importance? This anybody can, understand this. Basically, it's the victim's cost. Any victim is the first person who gets affected by crime. But it does not mean that it does not affect the entire society. The entire family gets affected. And, till the whole case is over, the whole family also is trying to, come to terms with things. So the trauma and the physical cost of bearing this goes also very high. Then you have this law enforcement and criminal justice costs. So when you talk about crime prevention, all these costs go down. You can have a look. I don't want to go into all the details, but any discussion at any point we can have later. And like I mentioned, the area development cost, I was talking about that particular area. Even when crime happens, also, suppose your brother or your sister gets involved in a crime once. Now you want to wean the person away. There is a cost involved in rehabilitation and reintegration. Nobody will be ready to give them a job. Nobody will be ready to accept them in the society. Nobody will marry them. Then their relatives will also, oh, his sister is involved in crime, so therefore I will not marry my brother to another relative of theirs. So as a society you suffer. So that is why it is very important that individuals start understanding that crime prevention is a very important role and society as a whole plays a very important role. Next please. Can you go to the next slide please? So we have to now, I come back to the main topic, that education is actually a great pathway to stable employment or business. And stable employment means your poverty gets reduced, your economic status gets better. You guys understand what you mean by relative deprivation? Can anybody tell me? Relative deprivation. Keeping up with the Joneses, economics. No. Okay, so what happens is that young boys, 16 years old, 17 years old, want to have a bike. They want to have which one? Torque. The fast moving bike, fast horsepower. And I want to be faster than my friend. So I both know equal bike driving, but the faster the horsepower in my Vandi, I will go faster. So it will be, there is this competition. Then the fellow will cry to, he does not have money. 16-year-old, 17-year-old doesn't have money to buy a 70,000 or a 1,25,000 bike. What he will do, Amma, please give me a bike. In our times, if I did that with my mother would say, come 3 times first in your class, then I will talk about giving you a cycle. Now the children just do a little bit of things, they get an iPhone, they get these bikes and everything quickly. Parents also want, lo bhaiya chutti pao. But what happens is, now these boys, the relative deprivation is, ki, oh, my neighbor has a better bike. Every year, phones are improved. I am still using a 2019 bought phone. Anybody can check. But, I have people, my subordinates, every year new phone will come, yeah. And I said, why do you, and every time it's an expensive phone. So if my phone is a 30,000 rupee phone, the original, the OnePlus which came, and now it is probably, they say, madam, throw away this phone. Buy the latest iPhone. I can't buy. And I feel like, but they are, that relative deprivation is there. Because of my education, because of my society position, I don't feel relatively deprived. I don't feel that I have to attach any economic status or, any status to which phone I am using. But, less education means the relative deprivation will be high. Your females who are not educated, sitting in as wives of somebody rolling pins, I'm not denigrating the part that they are, housekeeping is not a big job, but uneducated or low educated ones, every day the world becomes a house. What happens? Pakatla vedula pakana, they'll go and see. Oh, she's a bigger TV, 52-inch. Where they will go and fight with the husband. They see, big one. The HD has come. HD++ has come. There is no end to technology. But because of this debt, where will the money come for this? Your salaries remain stagnant or little increment comes. How will this money come? Crime. Something or the other. If you do corruption or the boys go and do a joyride, pick up somebody's bike, sell it to somebody, get extra money. Night riders, sometimes we catch young boys in the night. What are you doing? We are all studying engineering from Fala University. Okay, fine. We will check the thing. Oh, what are you doing? You are down with liquor. You are caught snatching. Why did you need to do the snatching? Come from good families. Parents don't give money for going to the bar. But night we have to go to a club because we saw in the movie ex-hero goes to a club every night. Or something that will inspire them. So the wrong stereotypes, wrong models. No, this is contribution of society to crime. Police has nothing to do with it. I can't stop Rohit Shetty from making films like Singham. But I have to keep telling them, I'm not Singham and yet I'm an effective cop. I don't need to throw people out like that. But people don't understand that. You ask anybody, your OSD is from police, big man. Has he ever done that? Has he ever thrown people? There will be NHRC after him. He will be incarcerated. There will be a case. If you do too much of hitting, somebody dies in your police custody, there is a case against 302 can get registered. We have to be very careful. But movie will show that you are doing everything. But that is not the way we work. So somehow there is a disconnect. And this disconnect, lack of education, it makes the disconnect higher. And then you get inspired by the wrong things. When you get inspired by the wrong things, you tend to commit crime. So what role does education play? Education plays a very important role in giving you the correct thing. No. What they are showing is wrong. The reality is this. The ability to internalize the positive things from a movie. Take the good part, that yes, Singham stood up to all that. He did not indulge in corruption even though offered. That part we will not see. We will only see the macho part of it. So you don't have to be macho, no? You have to be rule-oriented. You should know your work professionally. So if you go if you can't write an FIR, but you are macho enough to throw a man out, it will not, because the victim will need FIR. He will have when your Wendy gets stolen and you want to apply for insurance, it is your FIR which is important. Who writes the FIR? If the policeman cannot write FIR, he can go home. Nowadays we are getting very educated people as sub-inspectors and as inspectors. Some of them are engineers, some of them are MBAs. But it's not about that. It's about more education means their response to crime, their response to the society, how they will deal with a lady when she comes to the police station, and how he will talk, how he will leave his, this baggage of patriarchy behind and treat every victim equally. All that shows because of education. So that I want to stress over here. And basically, good education reduces the motivation for crime. You're getting money from a good, your education, your job. You don't need a quick solution. You don't need motivation for crime. You don't need, oh, I want a chain, so let me go and snatch a chain from my neighbor. She keeps wearing a 10 tola chain. No, no, no. You go and do something sensible. Maybe that buying that chain will take you 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, maybe even a year. But do it nicely, because it will have good effect for you. It will have good effect for the society as a whole. So everything gets this thing. And when you don't have money, when you don't have education, when you don't have a good job, this desperation will take you to crime. So by improving education, making sure education is available to a larger number of people, not just a few people, you can go on, keep studying PhD, double PhD, but your common sense, your basic issues, social understanding, social norms, all of them have to be there, so that, that the respect for each other as a society is there. And then you start to probably reduce crime. Can I have the next slide, please? So again, it comes to the same thing: social skills, values, ethics. You must have respect for vulnerable sections, sense of propriety, value system, need for acceptability in the society. If I don't wear Wrangler jeans to college, Mama, I am going to be not part of a particular gang. I have to wear branded clothes, and every time new clothes. Not possible. When I went to college, I want to just share this. My mother bought me 2 pairs of jeans from Tank Road, Karol Bagh. I got 2 khadi kurtas from Khadi Bhandar. I got 1 Kolhapuri chappal I bought from my own, 70 rupees I spent, I remember, from Janpat. 1 Bata belly I got. And I still remember there was this campus shoes used to come. So I bought this campus shoes, was given to me. So sometimes you want to wear jeans and you don't want to wear a chappal or a sandal, so you wear that. And 2 suits, new. That was all I got for joining a college and stepping into a university like Delhi University. And when I went there, every girl was wearing everyday different clothes. There was a daughter of a jeweler. She's talking about, this shade of green I was looking for such a long time. So basically same education. But my parents were, kind of more educated to tell me that, babes, it's not your clothes which tell you who you are. It is what you do in life is more important. But these girls would go on talking of, oh, my watch, I'm going to throw this watch after 3 months. Like, I have a watch, and my mother says for the next 3 years, if you throw the watch, you don't get a watch. Wouldn't you, Pocha? My father used to give me 100 rupees. This 100 rupees in a pinnal, purse la chinna pocket irga. If you get stranded, some dharna, pradarsan, no bus available, then you take an auto and come. Otherwise, 12 rupee pass. No, we used to get university bus pass for 12 rupees and another, 20 ruwa for maybe some snacking. Like we used to have 10 rupee plate idli in our college, some chewing gum we want to buy. But that's it. And nothing else. And now when you look at other children and you see your own children sometimes, what is wrong? And that used to be like, the kind of upbringing. I feel that what happened was that I did very well in college then. Because my mind was not in these things. And I knew, even if my mind was in these things, my amma would throw me out. And I saw my parents working. So there was a role model. They say, I'm not bothered. My father will be very simply dressed, my mother will be very, and they continuously they will say, simple living, high thinking, simple living. I went to a very good school, a very good school, Martyr Convent I went to, but spending on education, spending on food, your health, no problem. But on these faltu things, no questions. That is the door for you, please go. You want to earn something, you do your own thing. So I'm just saying that, giving this example to you to show that today where I am, probably those girls are not there. They're all my friends, they're colleagues. Some of them did not even graduate. I was in a tough, this thing called economics. So by the time when we started first year, we were 125. At the end, we were only 40 children, third year, pass out. I was shocked. I did not know such things. And I said, why does this happen? Because they found it too tough. Someone went away to some other university, some people flunked, some couldn't cope up with economics, went to a different stream. I was surprised. I said, like, what is this? But that's how life is. And today, when you go to the same college and the college recognizes you as a very illustrious alumni, this is what you bring back to the society. You inspire other girls. One of my seniors, I.P.S officer, one day she called me and she said, my daughter is saying this, your college is not good college, Bhenji college, the worst college in Delhi University. She said, you know what I did? I showed her the brochure, and middle of the brochure, your picture is there. I said, see, if she can go there and do well in life, you can also do. I never imagined that, somebody else sitting in, some other part of the country is inspiring her daughter, senior to me, same I.P.S. I was feeling so nice. I told my daughter. So my daughter said, oh, I'm already proud of you, so don't have to, push it in. But what I'm trying to say is that when you are doing little things in life, you don't know how, 10 years later, these things will impact you. And for example, two things that I feel that education brings to you is empathy and conflict resolution skills. So when an intelligent person gets into a traffic accident, what happens? He'll say, "Arey Baba, chodo yaar, okay. At 2,000 rupees dent, I will take care." Instead of getting with this rowdy. That lack of education was, and you say, you will also show your brawn, he will show your brawn, then he may have a gun, and you may not have a gun. The 2,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees settlement or that conflict resolution skills, or if you don't know how to talk. Some people, when they get into such mode, they only say, epithets. They will start using bad words. And then egos clash. So eventually what happens? There is conflict leads to more conflict and then crime. They will break something on his head and gone. So starting from a simple accident, it became road rage, then it becomes 307, somebody's head gets broken, and we have to have a bigger case. So this anger management, right? This anger management, conflict resolution, empathy. Okay, maybe if I was also at the back, maybe I would have a difficulty to put a brake. That is why the fellow would have got into my vandi. No problem. Okay, pa, let's sort it out by talking. That intelligent response to a difficult situation comes with education. No education means I will only show brawn. I don't have my brain working. Only my muscle will work. I don't have muscles. So frustrated energy, all these children have this extra energy. The people who are not studying too much have extra energy because we feel we have to study, we will give limited time to walking, limited time to, this thing. But when we are working 16 hours, 18 hours sometimes. So I understand there has to be a work-life balance, but at the same time, if a person is only sitting in the gym and he's going and doing that, brawn, for only not focusing on his studies, he will feeling sleepy, no? When we were in NPA, we were made to walk, run, do everything. But when we were sitting in the class, we were all sleeping. Everybody used to wake us up, wake up, read IPC, read this thing. Because we were tired, we could not give that much of time. So I am trying to say that frustration and the channelizing of energy has to be in a positive direction. Better towards education than towards becoming a tall, brawn, what shall I say, Sylvester Stallone type of a guy. So I'm not a great favor of Rocky and all these movies because they give you the wrong direction. Absolutely wrong direction. I don't want you to be like one of those saints also who go around everywhere and keep talking of God also. Again, that is not going to help you. Finally, do something. Education means you become part of society, contribute to society, have time to say, okay, I have done well in my life. Now I will give some adult education to poor women. Now I have finished my, in my daughter where she's studying, they are asking them to devote 2 hours of their monthly time to educate children who are staying in the slums. So this is very nice. So somewhere in the back of the mind, their development, their selflessness for the kids come. Then she's part of one NGO where they are doing blood connect. They are doing this donation business. So anybody has any blood donation issue, they will Falafat connect and they will do this. So the empathy part, if I or my relative is in such a situation, what I will do, how I will do this, how I'm not connected to the victim, but I'm helping the victim. So this education, it plays a very important part in doing that. Can we go to the next one, please? Yeah, next one, please. Next. This is important because, okay, we've understood the connection between crime prevention and education. But children belong to families where there are more than 5 children. The elder one is told to drop out of school because she should manage the kids at home and parents will go out for work. Something like that. Or they don't have education for the last 2 children. So the dropout rate will increase. Or you stay at home, no problem. We will see next year. So the new education policy says 14-year education is must. Every child must be given education by the time they are up to the age of 14 years. But is it possible? So the education policy goes towards these midday meals. The parents have to be counseled. Many schools I have heard that there are no good bathrooms for women, and when the puberty strikes for women, they may knock and they find it difficult to use the bathrooms, or they feel that the children will laugh. Those 5 days first they go missing, then they become uncomfortable. Then they feel if I can miss 5 days in a month, the mother says you might as well stay at home and help me with the household. So like that, slowly, because of lack of infrastructure and infrastructure targeted at making women stay, then they are connecting that. So that has to be taken care of. So a lot of NGOs are now coming forward. A lot of this community work by corporates. This corporate social responsibility is contributing towards targeting, towards creating bathrooms for female bathrooms for schools, and for also for encouraging the use of that cup, menstrual cup, so that women are more free, they can move around easily, and they can understand the need for hygiene. And the parents are also counseled. Then fees becomes an issue. So if the school says that, or the government says that till 14 you don't have to pay fees, and what you need for going to school? You need dress, so 2 pairs of uniform, you need a bag, you need pencil, sharpener, you need books. So if all this has become free, it becomes a package. Sapad, midday meal you are getting, and basic infrastructure, then which parent will not send the child to school? So they can be convinced easily. So in order that general public, from the lower society, if they are told, if they are given these things, delinquency can come down. Otherwise, children have too much attraction. Everywhere they have so much attraction. They want to go there and they want to feel free. No, teacher will say to learn 5 pages of this book or learn that poem. But outside, I'm with my 5 students. Sometimes I'm climbing a tree, sometimes I'm stealing a mango, and then I start to stealing valuable articles. I become a pakka chor. So this education, when they make you disciplined, they make you sit, they make you learn, they give you also a lot of, conflict resolution power. The power to do critical thinking. What am I doing with my life? What I will become after 5 years? What do I have to do for my mother? You know, do I have to do anything for my family? And then, attendance rates improve. Once attendance rates improve, then adequate facilities are there. Midday meal becomes a source of attraction. At least one proper meal they are giving, another proper meal we'll provide for the kid. So that takes care of the dropout rates. Next, please. So like that, you can make sure that community, slowly, through schools and other things, can build up the area where education leads to become the pathway to crime prevention. Can we go to the next one, please? Also, a very important thing I wanted to highlight this. The last point over there was, if children are alone sometimes, we are all just going to a single child syndrome. Earlier there used to be many children. Now there's a single child syndrome. What happens is the child has no one to share care. Now there may be so many issues. The stress must be building inside. So very important. If you study psychology, there is a whole chapter on stress management. And stress management, sometimes we don't understand. Like nowadays, a lot of, because of WhatsApp, we get these messages. So we have this girl gang, If we have any issue, we sit down with the girl gang and we say, "Hey, yaar, this happened, that happened." The fellows are equally well qualified or whatever, and they will guide you. "Yaar, don't worry, this thing will happen." So this is networking, okay? You can talk to somebody. Somebody other's example, you can see and learn. Oh, she's, still behaving properly despite her big problems. Why can't I take lesson from her? So like that, you manage stress. And you reduce isolation. So schools and all become hubs, and what happens is there is a community. When you talk of, I'm an alumni, I'm an IIT alumni, I am an alumni. What is an alumni basically? Alumni basically holds your hand. Says, don't worry, because you are from IIT Delhi, I am also from IIT Delhi, and I will hold your hand because I am, and then tomorrow my child's hand you hold. So like that, this is, community building happens and networking happens. So you feel secure. You don't feel alone. And when this you don't feel alone, you don't feel secure, psychologically you are a better person. Otherwise you can possible for you to go to crime. This youth engagement business. This is constructive activities and mentorship. A lot of these schools and colleges have now started up, even in our academy, in an I.P.S. academy, this mentorship programs are there. So I'm mentoring like 5 I.P.S. junior I.P.S. officers. So I'm talking to them. They continuously come back to me and ask me some issues. So if you don't have a mentor sometimes, parents you can't sometimes talk to about professional issues. They will not understand your problem. Like my father was in the airlines, mother was in the railways. Both of them would not have known anything about policing. So I must have a mentor in my organization whom I can speak to freely and get my doubts cleared freely. So that mentorship, hand-holding should be there. So that is something which is, engaging the youth and helping to not go in a different direction, to be straight line. And then also keeping the young people positively occupied. Next please. It goes without saying, jitna early intervention hoga, however much early you intervene and make sure that you do the corrective action for interfering in the society and making sure that the person who could have become a criminal does not become a criminal. That earlier the intervention, the better. When he once commits a crime, and then there are a lot of NGOs who are working in that direction, but once he commits a crime and you expect the person not to pull him back, it becomes very difficult. When he will sit alone, it will be easier for him to go back. It was so easy. I pulled that lady's chain, I threatened her. Quickly I got 50,000 rupees. That man was ready to take out the chain, the broken chains. Muthoot Finance will also finance it. So point is, easy. What is the difficult path? Every time people will say, you were sometimes faced with 2 paths. One is easy path, shorter path, the non-acceptable path. The one is a longer path, difficult path, but the widely acceptable path. So that choice, the decision making, the conflict resolution, every time in life you will feel. For every little issue you will feel. You want to have what for food sometimes becomes a choice. So all those choices can become, why I'm saying this very simple thing, you don't understand. When I talk about families who are like living at the edge, husband comes drunk. He'll say, I want this particular sabji. The lady made one particular sabji. You know what the fellow will do? He's drunk, already at that edge. He will pick up the whole cooker and bang on that. I've had cases like that on the lady. There's domestic violence, there is this, it leads to further, breaking down of households. What happens to the children? The husband and wife will fight, but the children will see this and then they will run away. They want a safe haven. They want a safe place to go. There's nowhere to go. Who is going to adopt such children? And what happens is then they get, okay, fine. Why should I go to school? Why should I? So they have bad examples at home and they will like go and not, focus on this thing. So I am saying this, these small decisions sometimes make a hell of a lot of difference in your lives. And sometimes, the more educated any society you see, more women educated, you will see the whole, the whole society more educated. And the more powerful they become. And then, by doing this, you are also, by identifying, by helping, by creating environments, you are reducing the progression towards criminal behavior. May I go to the next slide, please? So we've had these community policies and relationships. I've told you already about Yuva, what we were doing, and the bit about building trust. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is what I really wanted to focus on. You have so many of these movies, So when we were here in South India, we used to watch a lot of Rajinikanth. So all the young boys want to emulate him. Periya Thalevar. And in North India, they would want to emulate the angry young man. The angry young man with Amitabh Bachchan. Or maybe now, different one. You can take any name. Idea is, what is the role model or hero? They will go and see one movie and they will get inspired. It is age inappropriate material that they will see. And unnecessary exposure. Is it necessary for you to have a girlfriend till you are not educated or in your college? Is it necessary? But the kick is, the hero goes around with the college with a girl behind. That is the fun. Because the hero goes, I have to have a girlfriend. Therefore, one girl, 3 boys after that one girl, aapas mein ladenge, they will break their head, something else will happen. The inappropriate behavior promotes whatever education goes down the drain. We will all do this. So when you talk of education, you also have a lot of media, social media available. There are sort of other inputs you are getting apart from what you are studying in college and school. Where does this go? Community has to ensure that such information is not unnecessary for the age, but it's not possible. All of us enjoy such movies. Then there is this, of course, I keep talking about relative deprivation, but ayo, look at, she has so many, every time she's going to college, she's having so many dresses. I'm not having. So my daughter is staying in a hostel, and her neighbor, one of her roommates, she's having 5 specs. They're all numbered glasses, it's 5 different frames. So one day she came to me and she asked me, Mama, for the last 3 years I'm wearing the same frame. Can I get another one? So I said, you see your need. If you don't need it, you don't need it. So I took her to the optician. Opticians are anyway too eager. One more chashma, one more kharcha. So finally, till one of her specs, then she agreed. She said, Mama, I don't need another one. I'm very happy. We couldn't find the right frame for her. Unfortunately, one of her lenses broke. And one of the lenses broke and we had to get another one. So that's how now she has 2 only. But I'm grateful to God that she's happy with the 2. She did not insist for 5. I was shocked. So, but school, and then, I'm not saying that her parents are not doing well or something, but they are all aware. Still, they are, even your good friends sometimes give you wrong indications, what you should do and what you should not have. So the tools should not be a distraction, from education, should not be a distraction for self-awareness. How can, whether I'm wearing this specs or something else, define who Chhaya Sharma is? So that aspect, slowly children will grow, but it takes time. It doesn't come in a day. Appreciation of the media due to adequate exposure. There are a lot of film clubs and all in schools, and all, but nobody sits down and does the real appreciation. You see the older movies, was there not, they were saris, they will wear properly, even the, clothes they will wear will be appropriate. There will be, you will understand when one falls in love with another one, but less, more appropriately done. But now it is more openly done. Now this is OTT available. OTT, you can, if it is so dangerous that some of the things I really don't want my daughter to see at her age. Point is that, but you can't stop it. That is the age of the internet. This is the age of information. So information, fine, but creating the wrong role models and stereotypes is something we must think about, and showing the criminals sometimes as heroes. The whole film he's doing crime, and he's the hero. And then all the movies and the part and everything is being copied. This is sad. And so when we talk of children, when we talk of people in the house, we have to stop that narrative. When we are talking to children, we have to tell them, oh yeah, this guy is a criminal. Now how long will he last? In the end, he gets shot. Everything is fine. But the thrill, the kick, all the hormones working on their young teenager lives, they will not be able to differentiate. That is the role of adults. That is the role of education. So eulogizing the wrong behavior, the wrong person. Next slide, please. With due respect to the period, however. Next one. So basically, the long-term societal impact would be, the education's contribution to making sure that you have a society which is engaged, which is informed, and you should be addressing the root causes of crime. It is very true. The police is not working. Very easy. What are you doing for making your society crime-free? How is everything? Is police creating poverty? Is police creating inequality? No. 90% of the times when people come to me and they say, oh, and when we do preventive policing, people find it uncomfortable. What is preventive policing for us? If you put a barricade, everybody, hey, why put barricade here? My road was clear from here. I should have gone. But we have put the preventive barricade there because we know if you give it freewheeling, then somebody will have an accident, somebody will have a road rage here. This barricade may also prevent a snatcher from running away. So, number of things. So we go to senior citizen's house, ring the bell, say, Ayya, please put magic eye, please put this chain. Hey, why have you come and bothered? I was sleeping, I don't want to talk to you. They will throw the person out. So point is, preventive policing involves a lot of hard work. But when we do preventive policing, it causes a lot of hard work and it's never rewarded. Sulungo, it is never rewarded. You catch a murderer, you will be given a medal. Preventive policing is silent policing. It never gets rewarded. And therefore, society should understand that we as society, as education institutes, all should contribute, NGOs, to making the society crime-free by making sure right things are given to our children, right, making sure that all those people, you see jails, when I was in NHRC, jails are not where when people look at jails, they, from normal perspective, they'll say, put that fellow behind the jail, gone fellow. If it's your brother, what will you do? Arey, he's gone to jail now, 3 days, a poor guy. Let him come out, he'll improve. Now he's learnt his lesson. That's what I'm saying. But jails are not to incarcerate people for life. It is for people to improve. Now some people go inside the jail and do very well. They learn bakery, they come out, they do a baking course and they open bakeries in places. Some of them learn painting, some of them do some other things. So my issue is only a little bit that how you view things, that matters. So that's all I have to say, and thank you very much for having me here. It was a lovely, very attentive audience. I hope I didn't bore you. Oh yeah, any questions, please? I'm open to questions.
Does anyone have any questions? Any
Yes.
It was a wonderful session. It's not a question, but I have a small doubt here with my friend. Uh, it is always told that higher education and intelligent crimes, higher crimes. So what do you say about that, ma'am? So some words about it.
Okay, so sometimes I was thinking this question will come. You come to Pondicherry University, only higher education is thought about. So, see, my issue is with higher education, sometimes people think that they can commit the perfect crime. With more education, people think that they can commit the perfect crime, and some even try to do it. Like now, all these white collar crimes, you will not find people who are not educated. There will be people who are MTechs, who are engineers, who know how the systems work. They will be doing the white collar crime. And white collar crime of cheating, of making forged papers, getting something involved in serious hardcore economic offenses requires a lot of brain and smartness and intelligence. But again, the fact is, it is again, we have these EOW cells, we have now these cyber cell all over. So if ultimately it is crime, and everybody like a normal criminal, the thought process is same. They think that they can get away with it because every small criminal also thinks, I will do 5 times smuggling, 6 times I will not get caught. So he has to be right every time. We have to be right only once. So you have to be understanding that I understand that they are able to do that. A normal criminal may not be able to go through a cheating case or a cyber crime case or a case where they siphon off money from your banks. But that fraud, it's short-lived. That life is short-lived. Once you get caught, once you get arrested, then Mudinji Pocha, what do you do for the rest of your life? So all your education goes down the drain. So that education maybe, and I feel again one thing, even with that education, that basic knowledge that I have to be patient in life, the road is long, but the road is maybe difficult, but it is the right road. That conflict resolution, that decision making somewhere while they were growing has gone wrong. And it is because of that even despite all the knowledge and the education, they commit crimes. But again, I cannot justify that. Just because you're more educated, you can commit a bigger crime and get away with it. You think you can, but it's not that easy. Anybody else, please?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thanks, ma'am.
Ma'am, it was an excellent lecture that I heard for a long time. Is it possible to spell out all the crimes in the name of X, in the airport, in the name of Y? I will do the crimes.
I beg your pardon, I didn't understand your question.
Yeah, it's like this. What I will do, there is an innocent person there who is there who would like to travel from India to Afghanistan or Pakistan, somewhere else. What I will do, I will put my drugs in his baggage and it will go. If he got, okay, let him got otherwise, I'll get it outside the airport like this. Otherwise, in the name of XYZ person, I will do crimes like this. Using another part of the X person, I'm doing the crime in the name of the parcel, in the name of C. Is it possible to?
It is possible. Nowadays, there are a lot of security gadgets available which detect such things. And if at the airport you're trying to smuggle, say, metal is very easily detectable. But now there are very sophisticated X-ray machines available. Now even like in the US, they have the full body scanner. They have started to have this in the new airports which are coming in Delhi. So definitely, slowly, all the airports will have the body scanner. So when you're going to America, you have to like sometimes take off your jacket, shoes, sometimes even your watches, put them in this thing, and But now they're not doing over here. But there you have to do because now they do the full body scan. So even if you have a pacemaker in your heart or you have something, it'll identify. And there are sometimes people using body cavities. They will eat or they will put in other cavities of the body some gold articles, some narcotics, and they will try to take. So there are ways and means of checking this. But usually, if there is these people get caught more easily if there is a tip available. It may be difficult to identify, but 90% of the time they get caught. because it's very uncomfortable. It's not one can make out, like so many people sitting over here, one can make out who's uncomfortable, who's not comfortable. So, policemen sitting at the airport are trained to watch certain things. For example, even if you're carrying a bomb, there will be a particular attire you will be wearing. You would be, because you are concealing the bomb, or you are.
I intentionally like this. See, I will hand over a parcel to another person. I will inform one traveler stating that kindly hand over this box.
No, that is up to you. You should not do that. That is why one of the things that you always say at the airport is, my father was working at the airport, he used to always say, never let stranger get near your baggage. They may just open the zip and put something in. Second, never get into that conversation, please pass this to the other person. Never. Because you don't know that person. He may be a smuggler, and so definitely, that I agree with you, should not be allowed. Should not be done also. But we have to be careful. That is, and it's like, when you see in the movies, sometimes you're getting caught, and somebody else's baggage has something else, sometimes the same baggage, same bag, and the baggage gets exchanged. So you get caught. And then you are explaining this is not your baggage, so the tag and everything, So there are ways and means of catching it. So there are proper trainings which are happening. There is a cadre of officers at the GMR, at the people who are with the airlines. They are trained to tell people such things and help people out. But I think maybe it may cause a delay of 2-3 hours. But if a person is genuine, I think the police officer will also leave them. They don't keep them. Customs is there, then there is excise department is there. So all of them work in tandem with the airport security people. Nowadays, all the airport securities, I think, is with CISF. So they have a protocol they all follow. They don't even listen to local police.
Thank you, ma'am. Can we have one more question?
Yeah.
Thank you for the informative lecture. This is regarding some typical scene we come across to see in Pondicherry itself. So there is an offence committed, let's say traffic, and we see there's a discussion going on between the police and the offencer. Then suddenly there's a phone call, and the offence becomes a non-offence. And this is the public perception. And when the public see such instances, what type of effect do you think it will have on us? And is there any chance that these things could be rectified?
See, one thing you have to understand, all traffic accidents and all traffic crimes are compoundable offences. We understand, even in the lawmaker who has made the law, understood that traffic crimes are those crimes which can be compounded. Compounded means they have a validity for about 6-7 months. And that between the two parties, if it can be settled, it can be settled because it was not intentional. So the word intentional is important. It sometimes happens due to negligence, sometimes because I'm unable to control my vending, something like that. So having said that, 90% of the times it is done. So I do not justify this behavior, but at the same time, the amount of energy it takes for you, the victim, and the other person to settle the issue, maybe like 6 hours. You will sit in the thana and keep talking about it, or you will say, no, my vandi needs 5,000 rupees. Other fellow will say, I can give only 2,000 rupees. Eventually what will happen is you will agree on a certain amount and have to let it go. So my issue is, yes, all offenders should not be allowed to go through, whether they get a call or they don't call. It should be a mutual thing decided between the two parties, whether or not they want to compromise or not. Second thing is that if a person is a habitual offender, even in spite of the fact that he's being caught once, so in Delhi what we are doing is we are making a hole in the license. So suppose ancho hole irka, then they will never get a license again. So something like that I think we need to devise. Your point I will convey to the Department of Puducherry Police Traffic, and I'm sure the OSD will also communicate. But yes, it happens, and I don't think it should be taken like that, because actually traffic accidents are negligent behavior. Somebody will be drinking and driving, you don't have to drink and drive. Or you're traveling from far and you will fall asleep and thinking that I will be able to drive, and you hit somebody. So they are accidents that are done because of negligent behavior. Cannot be equated to murder or to be, to that extent. You may got hurt similarly, but those are offenses when I know I have to hurt you, or I have to kill you, and I'm making a plan and my intention is to kill you. So those are different, There is a difference in intention, there's a difference in planning. Maybe the fellow never planned to hit you. He also wanted to park the vehicle and go away, but what happened? So I hope I've answered your question. Yeah, thank you. Let that student, one last question, any student.
Thank you, ma'am, for this amazing session. Could you please throw some light on rehabilitation and reintegration process?
Of criminals? Okay. So I'll take a particular example. There was this case of women who were involved in sexual exploitation, and I rescued them. So this issue came up in the court, and the court was very keen that now that you have rescued them, we cannot keep them in Nari Niketan or that home for shelter home for very long. We must find a way to reintegrate. And also the reintegration into society is one aspect, and rehabilitation is one aspect. So when rehabilitation sometimes is easier. Like I talked to one of my friends and said, please give her a job. So even though she was a sex worker, the job was given because he had a ice cream vending machine, thing, and she was trained and she was given an ice cream vending booth, and we gave it to her that we told her we will cut this much from your monthly income, and microcredit we got for her, and we gave her that thing. She was working. Now, this is her rehabilitation. You gave her a job, she knows she has a alternative income. She does not have to fall back upon crime. Second is reintegration. That is difficult part. How you reintegrate a person back. Everybody in the family knew that she was a sex worker. Now nobody wants to have the lady back in the house or in the family, because once they come to know, the family will get ostracized. Nobody will marry. So a lot of issues will come. Society itself, doesn't give many opportunities for reintegration. Now then we contacted the district magistrates of that area. Again, NGOs were involved. Then they counseled the parents, the family. They were forced to take her back. And we gave her the choice. That see, we are giving you 3 months time. And we had a probation officer looking after her. Say that if you have any issue, you contact the probation officer and we'll get you back. But point is, even there, she needed to work somewhere. Because when you are living with your same society, once they have seen you as a criminal, they will castigate you. Everybody will. And they will not say out of fear, they will castigate you. So that aspect is a little difficult to achieve unless there are strong people in the family and they say, no, now my daughter has had a traumatic experience, and she's willing to change her ways, and I'm willing to accept her. And sometimes their money, the way what they were sending from crime, is running their houses. So they feel if she stops this, then how will our house run? So there are a lot of issues. So rehabilitation has always been easy because you find NGOs, you find companies who will be willing to give them jobs. But reintegration to society is difficult because our society is like that they said once a criminal, always a criminal. There is nowhere in the criminal justice system it is like that. Even if you are sent to jail for like 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, it is to only give you a lesson. Stay alone, stay in the jail, understand if you do it again. But somehow, because the society does not accept him, he goes back and recidivism happens again because of lack of reintegration. Now that resistance comes to the society. Up now, society will have to change and think differently. Sometimes it does. There are good examples. Sometimes it doesn't. So that is a still area which we have a lot of work to do. But rehabilitation I have seen is much easier. Getting a job, making them independent. Even one of my cases, Falak, when the daughter died and that lady had to be rehabilitated, we got her a job in an NGO and she was happy. So, and then if she wanted to, it was her choice. We even got her family to take her back, to reunited. But then it was her choice whether you want to go back with the family or not, or you want to continue to work there. It's your choice, because there's an individual at stake. So we have to take the choice of the individual. Yes, that was the last question. I have a flight to catch, my dear.
Ma'am, there is a question that is there any perfect crime just like Arusi murder case? It's just like Arusi murder case. Her father and mother was used.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
No.
I beg to differ. I'm saying it. I know what you're asking me. I beg to differ. There is no such thing as a perfect crime. And the only thing is, there can be lack of evidence, there can be lack of circumstantial evidence, there can be some faux pas which the police, when they were picking up in clues from their house, got missed. That could be it. But there is nothing as a perfect crime. I am 105% sure.
And police do like pre-decision, like just in a recent case in Madhya Pradesh, the family of that girl went to police station that my girl is missing from from morning until incident came back. And police told that you go back home, she will come in the morning. If she will not come in the morning,
See, like that, how old was the girl?
uh, 15 years.
So I'm telling you, 90% of the time happens that sometimes girls get missing and then they come back. Children also get missing. Every day we are registering cases in Delhi also.
But
So we,
in case of girl, Supreme Court also told that in case of girl you must have to.
so what I'm not justifying what the Madhya Pradesh police did, but I'm saying that it depends, you know. You can, in the first golden hours, run around, look for the girl. Maybe in that period when the girl actually comes back on her own. Sometimes she comes back after 3 months or something, she lost her way or something happens. But there are children also who get lost. In children's cases and in minors' cases, we are registering the case in Delhi immediately. We are not wasting the time. First we register a case and then we are talking of to anything else. Maybe in Madhya Pradesh they need to change the way how they work. For adults, if they are missing, we are waiting for 3 months. We are waiting that maybe the person comes back if they don't have information, and then after 3 months there is a standing order that after 3 months if the person continues to stay missing, adult, then we register a case unless there is a ransom call or they have fear that somebody has taken. They have sometimes people come to the Thana and say we don't have anybody, we don't have doubt on anybody, but our child is missing. That time we should register the case immediately. So you are right, that was not correctly done. They should have immediately registered the case.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Crime is a very interesting case. Can you permission?
Absolutely, no problem. If I miss, then they get me a new flight.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I have been looking up to you since the India case. I have seen Delhi Crime and your interviews during that time with Chhaya and all. So, ma'am, basically, I have just two simple questions. One is, you were talking about the education and the crime, the relation to the education and the crime. So, I would like to know what would be your opinion on the unemployment and the hunger issues and the crime. Because in this time, CMI report said that unemployment was highest in Delhi as the Union territories, we consider. And hunger, this time the global hunger index, India was on 107. So do you think the hunger and unemployment is somehow related to the crime rate? And we as a student, what we can offer to that sector?
So there are two parts of your question. One is the economics part of the question. How economics sees hunger and poverty relating to increase in crime. That I have mentioned in my slides also. And I'll ask Arvindji to share the slide with everybody so you can have a look. Now issue is, I'm also a student of economics, so I know, and you will also know, yes, there is a very strong link between poverty, hunger and crime. In so many movies you will see the child first running because he's hungry and he has nowhere to go. First he will steal a bread and run away. So, and he finds that he's doing it not for any bad intention, not for selling it or not for any other reason, but for satisfying his hunger, carnal desire. My issue is that yes, it will have an impact on increase in crime, and it is happening. One feels that there is an increase in crime. Also, cities like Delhi are a big magnet. People come to Delhi without even that preparation or what they have to do in Delhi, thinking that they will get a job because somebody from their village has got a job and they say that I am doing very well, so they all follow the lead. And then they don't get a job there, then they are doing something very menial. Then sometimes the two ends don't meet. And Delhi is an expensive city. Sometimes you don't find the right, you don't find the, there was a time, when in my college, 10 rupees you would get 2 idlis and very good sambar, and he would continue to give you sambar till you're satisfied. But now it's not available. So the same thing, what happens is that they think that Delhi is an easy city. It's not. one has to take care of the shelter, one has to take care of food, one has to take care of. After, like you go to a city, new city to work, your parents will be worried, where will you stay? First you stay in a PG, then you look for a rented place, then you see how my food will come, some tiffin center will give you the food, then you will engage a maid, please make food 2 times a day. So like that you do, these people just come without any preparation. So if poverty hits, and then there are hunger issues, though not so much in Delhi, there are now food banks and so many other NGOs working in that sector. However, it is a fact that it has a very close and direct connection with crime.
Thank you, ma'am. Just one more question. You were talking about the movie sector of crime, that we get the wrong influences from the movie and avoid the positive portions. So I would like to talk about Jawan. So in Jawan, this is a recent time movie.
I didn't get time to see it, so I can't comment on it.
Okay, no, I was just asking about that thing because the whole movie shows the criminal part of Shah Rukh Khan, the character, but he was doing the right things in the wrong way.
So there are a lot of Robin Hoods. That's what you want to say?
Yeah.
But even the Robin Hood was never considered the right person in his age, right? He was an outcast. So point is, even if you're doing it for other people, there is a right way and the wrong way. You see, the society, we are not in, in Stone Age. We are in an age where it is heavily on information, heavy on this thing. This movie can inspire people, but then again, I will say wrong stereotypes, wrong messaging, wrong inappropriate this thing, because that's how people get missed. No? Like, why do young techies start going to ISIS? Tell me, who stops them? But then, of course, that kind of indoctrination is there, and why that indoctrination was allowed to, nobody can indoctrinate me, nobody can indoctrinate Dr. Arvind. Point is why? Because we have our system straight. Somewhere in my mindset, my society, my family, my upbringing has made sure that I will not do the wrong thing, and my conflict resolution part in my mind is correct. That no, this is the right, this is the wrong, and this is well established, and I stand by that. But somewhere, they'll find those weak minds, they'll find those people who will get influenced. So it will be like, so I haven't seen the movie, I hope to go back and see it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Before we move forward, before ma'am's talk, we want to show you one audio visual which is made by Dr. Ashita, HOD Women's Study. We will try that this time with some new technique they will be able to run. Mr. Satish, please try to run it for the benefit of audience. Thank you very much, Dr. Ashita, for making such a beautiful audio visual. Now, we have with us Professor Clement Sagairaj, who is Dean, School of Humanities. And I think my fellow colleagues and all the students knows about him and his artistic flavor. And he is I don't have a word to say, such a great artist who makes sketches. And he has made one sketch of Madam Chhaya, which he wants to present now today. So I request Professor Clement to come forward and present that portrait to Ma'am Chhaya.
Use the pen. Use the pen as he sketches.
This is pen sketch.
So if you make a mistake, it's like there. No eraser.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, ma'am.
I request all to give a great round of applause to Srimati Chhaya Sharma for her motivational and impactful speech. The moon teaches us the art of shining in someone's darker hours, and I saw ma'am as the moon benefiting for human rights. Now I request the faculty of DDE for the oath of thanks.
Good morning, dignitaries and dear participants. As we come to the end of today's edition 1 DDE lecture series, Impactful Education Towards Crime Prevention, it is a privilege for me to deliver the vote of thanks. This program by DDE Pondicherry University has been informative and oriented us to various perspectives of crime prevention. The knowledge sharing by Srimati Chhaya Sharma, I.P.S, Joint Commissioner of Police, New Delhi, was relevant and facilitated adapting to changing timings. We are immensely grateful to you, ma'am, for your precious time for this valuable knowledge sharing engagement. The best ever efforts of your team are unfolded by the leader who stays forward the team with his inspirational motivation and rock support. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh Ji, has always been the phenomenal leader who has enabled us to work that extra mile. Thank you very much, sir. Heartfelt gratitude to our Director Culture, Professor Rajiv Jain, sir, for his absolute support and valuable guidance. We are thankful to you, sir. We are very grateful to Director Studies, Registrar, Finance Officer, Controller of Examinations, Librarian, and all the officers of the University for the support extended. Our gratitude to all deans, HODs, departments, and faculty of various departments who have attended this program and graced this occasion. Our heartfelt acknowledgement to the Chairman, East Coast Hospital of Dr. N. Murugesan, and Vice Chairman of Sarada Gangadhan College, Sri Palani Raja, for their students' participation in this program. We are indebted for the support and cooperation extended by our colleagues, Professor T. Marks, Professor Ilayaraja, Dr. Praveen, Dr. Ram Mohan Singh, Dr. Gurminder Gar, Dr. Ashita, Dr. Santosh Matthew, Dr. Krishna Jaiswal, and Dr. Vishal Singh towards the success of this event. The heads and technical team of the electrical wing, engineering wing, EMRC, and guest house have been our best aids towards rendering this lecture series in a blended mode, both offline and online, and their timely help is valued. Thanks a lot. We thank and appreciate the Deputy Registrar DDE, all faculty member of DDE, academic coordinator, and all the staff at DDE for their contribution towards making this lecture series a reality. Thank you, Black Nerve, our social media team, for the digital visibility, creativity, and coverage of this lecture series. To the press fraternity for coverage and publicity, our heartfelt gratitude. Our gratitude to every stakeholder who has contributed directly or indirectly to make this morning a success. To the students of various institutions with us today, you have been a wonderful audience. Our best wishes for an enlightening future ahead. With thanks to divine grace, I wish all safe times, good health, continued learning, and endless progression. Thank you. Nandri. Namaskar.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request all of you to rise up for the national anthem.
जय गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ